Hi guys, thanks so much for tuning in. I wanted to do a quick review for you on the Instagram favorite and YouTube favorite pillow, the Sleep and Glow Omnia pillow. Now I've had this pillow for 4 months and I have some pros and cons about it, and there's some claims that this pillow makes that I wanted to just briefly touch upon. Some that I think are accurate and some that I think are not quite as accurate. Now, one thing that I want to note about this pillow is that, you know, I have it here outside of its pillowcase. You know, most pillows are very intuitive. I think that they don't need any direction. This one, I think you might want to take a look at the directions. And the reason I say that is because, one, the pillow comes with an additional level depending on your height and how you like to sleep, how high you like to keep, you know, your neck and your head. So you're going to have to play around with that to see what adjustment level you like. I'm a 5'7". I actually don't like the additional adjustment level. I like to sleep with you know, the pillow just as such, and that works for me. The other thing you kind of have to note that's a bit unique about this pillow is that, okay, you have these like little levels. You know, if you can see them, you have one here, and then the two on the other side. The smaller little levels of the pillow are the ones that have to touch your shoulders, not these bigger ones. These bigger ones have a lot more like pushback, and that's something that you should note in the comfort of this pillow. While initially, you know, you press into it, it feels very soft, you can kind of see how quickly it pushes back, and that's because this pillow does have a lot of pushback. So if you like softer pillows, you may find that you will need to adjust to something like this. Now with these levels, as I mentioned, the smaller size are the ones that should be touching your shoulders. There's also a little like cradle here for your neck. You can't see it because of this cover on here. And there's like a little dip where your head can go in if you are a back sleeper. I'm a side sleeper. That's why this made sense for me. In terms of wrinkles and, you know, morning puffiness, I don't get a whole lot of morning puffiness, but I was noticing that I did get sleep wrinkles. And that was part of the reason why I got this pillow, along with some of the health benefits that this pillow purported to give you. Sleep wrinkles, 1000%, absolutely this works. And it works because you have these little dips here. So when I would sleep, you know, I would sleep kind of like as such. And so my chin was, you know, resting on this right here, and my cheek was not, you know, resting on anything else. So yeah, I wasn't getting very many sleep wrinkles, and I actually think that this is wonderful for reducing sleep wrinkles. And I like that there's a little dip over here, so even if you just want to kind of like toss your head to the side, you're still not really smushing it quite as much as you would on a regular pillow. Prior to using this, I was using a slip silk pillowcase. I was still getting some wrinkling there, but I did notice a benefit for my hair. Now, I didn't mention the pricing of this, which you should know. This pillow is $175. You can buy the silk pillowcases separately. They're about $69 for one, or there's a bundle where I think they're around $129 for two. I would just get the bundle because, you know, you're going to want to clean the pillowcases pretty often, and at least you'll have one in rotation. When you get this pillow, it does come with a eucalyptus pillowcase. I haven't used it clearly, but I have heard good things about it, and I'm feeling it. It seems very soft. So if you don't want to spend the extra money for the silk, I think this is fine, although I do know that silk is supposed to be just a little bit better for your skin and hair. So I went ahead and got that. Now, the issues that I am seeing with this pillow. Okay. Sleep wrinkles, if your goal is beauty, not a problem. This is great. If you have any sort of neck issues, which this pillow has been noted to help with a lot of neck issues. I have 2 herniated discs. I would not go in and make the claim that this pillow is going to be the best thing for anyone who has any sort of neck injury. And the reason for that is because I have slept on this a little weird a couple of times. I mean, you have to adjust to this. I prefer softer pillows. So for me, this took a while to adjust to. You know, for one, when it arrived, it stunk. When I first took it out of the box, it smelled like a factory. It took like 2 weeks for this pillow to stop stinking like a factory. Couldn't really use it, couldn't really fall asleep on it. And then when it finally stopped smelling so that I could finally fall asleep on it, it took me forever to figure out how to cradle my head on the side over here. You know, I did start to feel, because this is elevated, I started to feel like my neck was getting stretched out. While I don't know if that was a good or bad thing for someone with a neck injury, I did know that I had to be more careful because my neck just felt kind of awkward from like being pulled and stretched by this pillow. The other thing is that if you are used to sleeping with animals, you might also be used to having to hide your hands. This is a very small pillow, so you don't have a lot of room to hide your hands. And if you do try to do that, you could end up contorting yourself in a way that will end up hurting you. And what I mean by that is, I once tried to hide my hands like kind of above my headboard. I had done it in my sleep, didn't even realize I was doing it. And my shoulder on my left side over here jumped up on this little like level. I woke up, I had a stiff neck for a week. It hurt so bad. And I was like, okay, didn't do that again for a month. And then a month later, did it on my right side. Like, didn't even realize what I was doing. I was trying to hide my hands, and my shoulder kind of got up on this level over here. I had a stiff neck. So if you sleep on this right, and if you're a back sleeper, or you don't have any animals, you're not going to have a whole lot of issues. You're just going to sleep on it normally. But if you're someone that's used to like having to move your hands around at night, or if you're someone that likes to sleep like this, you are going to have issues, because the way that your shoulder is going to rest on these levels over here is going to be rather awkward for you. The idea is that all of us kind of sleep with our hands down, but that's not true. If you move your hands around, or if you put them like this when you sleep, you can end up contorting yourself in a way where this shoulder is like up in an angle that is going to hurt you. So while I do think that this could be okay if you keep your hands down when you're sleeping, you're not moving them around too much, when you initially kind of squeeze this pillow, it looks rather soft. It does. But you see how much give back and how quickly that pops back? You are going to feel that on your head. Your head is going to be kind of pushed back up on this pillow. So if you don't really enjoy that, you know, you're going to have a tough time adjusting. The other thing that I want to note about this, and it's actually with the pillows. So Sleep and Glow recommends that you wash your pillowcases every like 2 weeks. All right. I don't know about you, but I have a normal life, and washing my pillow like every 24 hours or washing my pillowcase is just, you know, not something that's totally feasible for me. And what I have noticed is that because you spend so much time kind of cradling your head like this, you will inevitably end up like getting some skincare products around this part of the pillow on your pillowcase. And I'll show you. I just washed this, and you will kind of be able to see some remnants of, you know, self-tanner and, you know, probably a host of other things that have come off. And I will tell you that I have seen remnants of my skincare products on my pillow when I woke up in the morning. So with that said, you can kind of see right off the bat, like, I don't know if this is going to pick up with my light, but there's like some marks over here that were left, you know, some marks over here. You can definitely see one right over there. You know, it all happens because, you know, this pillow kind of, if you look at it, you've got the middle part that dips down, and then you have these two, you have the end parts that kind of like slope up. So your products are going to kind of transfer on these parts where you have more friction. And for $69 a pillowcase, that is pretty darn expensive to have to go out there and replace another one of these, especially after you just spent $175 on the pillow. So definitely wanted to make you aware of the smell. Definitely wanted to make you aware of the transfer that your products can have on this. Definitely wanted to make you aware of some of the health claims, and definitely wanted to make you aware that yes, for wrinkles, this has worked wonderfully for me. The other thing that I also wanted to make you aware of is their customer service. It's wonderful. When I first reached out to Sleep and Glow and I was having a lot of trouble falling asleep on this pillow, you know, first it was the smell, then it was just like so much give. The other element is, you know, once you put this pillowcase on, if you notice, it's really hard for you to figure out which, you know, where the sides are that you're, you know, where you're supposed to put your head on this thing. You have to kind of feel out like, okay, this is the smaller side. All right, so the smaller side is where my shoulders are supposed to touch. These are kind of like the larger bits right over here. That's where the top of my head's supposed to go. You kind of have to feel this out. You know, I reached out to their customer service and I'm like, hey, I can't get used to this pillow. Like I was sleeping on it the wrong way. I couldn't quite figure out where to put my hands because I used to like to hide my hands. Okay, I thought that they were just going to be like, well, you're SOL because, you know, these are all like, you know, your own sleeping faults. No, they actually had recommendations because they have had other people have issues with this pillow. They, you know, took everything into account really well. When I told them about the smell, they said, you know, depending on how long the pillow has been in the warehouse, that could happen. And what shocked me is just the level of support that I was able to receive. You know, they were super kind about everything. They sent me, you know, different sleeping positions. They, you know, they gave me some guidance. They were like, hey, try to sleep on it a half an hour before you get to bed. Try to kind of adjust yourself to it. And you know what? Over time, this did end up working really, really well for me. And now I've kind of gotten used to it. I also wanted to just highlight, they stand by their guarantee too, because when I chatted with them and I was like, hey, I can't deal with this anymore. They were like, ship it back, we'll give you your money back, not a problem. Like, you know, I think they would have given you a fully paid for shipping label. They're like, you know, we'll give you your money back. Tell us what you'd like to do. We're happy to do it. We're going to stand by our promise. So I do like that about them. You know, and as I said, I have gotten used to this pillow at this point. It's taken me a number of months. I think the first month was a little rough for me just because I wasn't used to this type of pillow. And, you know, I couldn't figure out how to adjust myself at night to it. Now that I have, I do like it. I am in love with the benefits it gives me for my face and my, like, the no sleep wrinkles that I get. I'm glad I got used to it because now I really do like it. As long as you're not someone that like kind of puts your hands up over your head when you sleep, or like, you know, like does something like this, like I do sometimes for whatever reason. I push my shoulders up and I should probably not do that. You could be okay, but I just wanted to make sure that you kind of knew that, because this pillow is a big investment. I know $175 is a lot of money, and then you also have to pay for shipping. I think in order to get free shipping, you have to spend something like $195. I forget what it is, or I'll list it down below. So this is a pretty expensive investment. In the end, for me, this ended up working out really well. But I did want you guys to kind of think about this before you go out and make this pricey investment. So I hope that this was helpful for you. If you have any other questions about this pillow, I'm happy to share whatever information you may need. And yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. Bye.